Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today, the most important thing in putting, at least what I think is the most important thing in putting, I'll share that with you, give you some clues as to how to do it and some drills and exercises. Hope you'll find it helpful. Well, briefly, if you're new to Scratch Golf Academy, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to this channel, get you lots of free content, helps us build momentum. Also, next time at the App Store, Scratch Golf Academy, the free app, lots of training tools, putting green reader, by the way, but tempo tools, all sorts of fun things there for you. Hope you'll check it out, free to you. Ooh. Right lip. Well, what is this most important thing in putting? I believe it's club face aim, not just at address, although we'll get into that, but obviously the critical thing is what is it at impact? Believe me, that determines the direction your putt goes in, especially on shorter putts, much more than the direction of your stroke. Now, I like a good swing path, stroke path. I think that makes it easier to square the face, but without a square face, you will rarely make a putt unless you misread it or something. Now, a case could be made, distance control. Is that the most important thing? Well, it certainly makes you a functional putter, but let's focus on this club face because, as I say, you will not be making putts without it. We're at the Learning Center at Mediterra. We can kick the ball out of the way and simply put a laser on the front of someone's club face, and as you see, you can tell instantaneously exactly where that putter is aimed. So in the absence of a laser, how are you going to judge or determine if your putter is lined up properly at address? Just have a friend squat down a couple of yards behind you. About 10 feet, fairly straight putt is what we're looking for. And just that friend can tell you, they don't have to be a golf coach if that putter is lined up pretty well. It's fairly easy to tell. Now, shout out to Mike Shannon, the great putting coach up at TPC Jacksonville. He's an old friend of mine now. I've coached with him a fair bit, learned a lot from Mike. He did a significant study where they looked with optometrists at a group of golfers at their alignment tendencies, and they came to a very simple but hard to believe conclusion, and that is each person has individual triangulation tendencies. You could believe that. For each person, given a reasonably normal setup, there is an ideal ball position. If they line the ball up or if they place the ball there, they will generally, at least on a shorter putt, have pretty good putter face alignment. If the ball, here's the key, is too far forward for their eyes, they will line up left and think it's straight, and if it's too far back for their eyes, they will line up right and think it's straight. So if your friend gets down there and tells you, you know what, that putter face is aimed to the right of the hole, assuming a right-handed golfer here, you need to start to move that ball position forward a little bit until, here's the key, not only is the putter face according to your friend lined up well, but it feels correct to you. How many times have I had people over the years move someone around, say, hey, that's straight, and the person looks down and thinks, that does not look straight to me, but I suppose I believe you. You don't want to be putting like that. It has to feel right to you. So adjust your ball position in order to get the proper alignment, hone it in and mark it. You'll have done yourself a huge favor for taking the time. Okay, next key, at your address, your trail hand, typically for the right-handed golfer, let's say that's their dominant hand. You want that on the side of the shaft, fairly well lined up with the handle. Don't get it up here like this. It's probably going to be up against these fingers, not above them. When it's lined up, so the palm is facing the target or very close to it, you will have much better putter face awareness. Now, hey, you can do that cross-handed too. You can still line this up, and even the claw to some extent can give you that, but good side of the shaft up against the fingers of the left hand alignment at address is critical if you're going to get this down. Okay, one final word about ball placement before we get into this third key. A lot of people say, well, hey, if you move the ball forward, let's say that suits your eyes, or back a bit, doesn't that change the angle of attack in the putt? It could fractionally, but the putter stays so level for several inches down there at the bottom. I think any negatives, according to unusual ball position, are more than compensated for by good club face alignment. So let's assume we've got the club face lined up well, we've got that trail hand in a good spot where it's facing the target. Use it for your guide, don't use it for power in the stroke. It should do nothing to create the stroke in terms of movement. That should be from your trunk, your core, but you have much more feel in your hand than you do your body. So as you make that stroke, just very passively be aware of how that trail hand feels. I think this will really help you. It's a great key. Practice this, maybe lay the flagpole or an alignment rod on the ground. Just practice decent, consistent club face alignment on shorter strokes. If you get these three things right, you are going to make a lot more short putts.